It is day one of my period, and as I'm saying this, I am very much aware that I'm pretty hormonal right now, and whatever it is that I'm feeling, it's very short lived and transient. But I've realized as of lately that I get into this very same cycle a lot more than I'd want to. I have I have this thing, this desire, that like a very strong urge that I need to group whatever it is that I do into some category to make sense of my existence, sort of, in the sense why what's the purpose, And as of all the 20 years of my life, at this point, I feel I've finally figured it out. And it's this concept, it's pretty simple that for you to live and breathe on this planet, given that you are at some degree of privileged to be not in like the below poverty line uh, socioeconomic class, then you can group your life into this very baseline of MEDS, MEDS. Essentially, what that is pretty much meds are meds to your life. And if I have to expand meds, it's meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. MEDS, meds. So these are basically the meds for your life. And no matter whoever you are, you should be doing MEDS. So, and how I inculcate that in my life and how I essentially would like to view it is basically meditation. Whenever I sit down to meditate, I kind of have that in my mind that for the next 10 minutes that I am here, I am aware that I am completely present. I am not thinking of anything else ahead of me. I am not thinking of anything else that I've lived through and could have done a lot differently. All I'm thinking of all I'm thinking of is essentially this present moment. And whenever I'm sitting down peacefully like this, I also am doing a sort of favor for myself to regulate my emotions better, so that to any bad news, I don't just react quickly and just burst out with temper or anger or whatever it is. Because I've noticed that I react very poorly to the people that I am in love with, to the people that actually matter to me in my life in the long run. Given that, that is my reason to meditate, that to regulate my emotions better and to be completely present. Second one, exercise. Exercise, essentially, we all need it. You, me, a teenager, a kid, we all need it for different reasons. A kid might need it because he will learn leadership skills, he will learn how to regulate his emotions in a group setting, how to interact. And somebody in their 40s, in their 50s would need it to move better. And somebody in their 20s would need it to build as much as muscle mass, which is going to be sustainable given in their 60s, in their 70s, especially women. So, my reason for exercise is basically that. But given that I am in my 20s and I have much free time in my hand, I can go a little beyond that, and I'm training for MMA, and I'm taking my extra time off to do weights, and I'm doing all those things, right? To some degree, there are many days where I just do not want to get outside of my room. I just want to be in my room. And whenever I do that, I'm miserable for some reason, because I've either binged and felt absolutely miserable about it, and would have broken a promise to myself that I would stick to this meds, I would stick to this E part of meds, MED, the diet. As simple as that. I am in a very academically challenging degree, as others would like to say it. So, what I eat, gut brain axis, regulating your microbiome, gut microbiome. What I eat essentially affects every facet of my life moving forward. So, I really would like to take care of that and be intentional about what I put inside my body. MED, and last comes the sleep. Sleep, as we know, there was this very famous researcher slash scientist, Dr. Matthew Walker. I feel he's the one. I had been reading his book, and he gave a TED talk also. His TED talk kind of changed my views and stuff. But given that sleep is pretty important. At this point, you have realized it yourself. One night of sleep, and the next day you are barely functioning. So I really do try my best to maintain circadian rhythm, but the time it is right now is 2-3 at midnight. So, this is the basic framework for anybody and everybody in their life, and this is not an original idea at all. I picked this up from somebody on Instagram. So, you say scrolling reels is bad thing, and we'd like to label it as something evil. To some degree, I think I have let myself feed into that narrative, and started to think that, Instagram is really bad, it's this evil thing. But if I retrospectively analyze my life and whatever it has led through, my primary motive, or like a fuel to get me started onto stuff, is Instagram. Like, I got into weights, into fitness, into this community just because of Instagram, just because of my For You page recommending me women in the gym lifting. So I got into this habit, and it's life changing. To be very honest, it's life changing. Given that, I feel now that I'm more inclined onto business, finance, and stuff, it's all Instagram. It's all the random recommendations on my feed. So, in a way, the meds also, that I stumbled across it via Instagram. I read the books that I kind of read, the overrated books, just because I have heard them so many times on reels on my feed. So I've kind of at this point figured out that it's not necessarily completely bad, because it really gives me, you know, you are what you consume. And given that I've taken active efforts to inculcate some degree of the positive things that the platform had to offer, I believe it's not completely as evil as people would like to portray it on the internet again. So, given all this, MEDS, that's the framework of this video, prop for the most parts. To a lot many days, I'm not able to live up to it 100%. And, it really does kind of eat me up over and over again. I have gazillion things to say as of right now, but I just can't get myself to tell them. Also, because I feel uh, my vocabulary or the way I put forth myself or the way I express is very limited to my vocabulary, my speaking skills, or whatever that is. So I've been watching a lot of salespeople go about their job and how negotiation and like just in general how you put forth the sales. It's very eye-opening that way that your words carry such power, so much of power that you you're closing business deals and all that stuff. So it's very, as a 20-year-old who has no idea how who has no financial background in finance, and it's very traditional path that you learn. You go to your degree college, get a job, then work ahead through the ladder. That is very given. And like people have like the Gen Z especially, I feel like you have started to question that same norms. I think it's everybody. Like I usually get distracted and I can't put my point forth. And it's also that it's this video is almost 11 minutes long now. But as I was saying, I was talking about myths, and the one extra thing on top of that that I voluntarily chose for myself is my degree. And given that if my degree aspect, if my academic aspect of the life sucks, then the entirety of my life I'm just clueless. So at this point, I am feeling my worst. Like I feel I keep failing to keep the promises that I make to myself. As a result, a little self-respect that I had towards myself has just been evaporated, and I'm meaninglessly going on wasting time ahead, just feeling miserable, like no pointlessness, just like I want to escape this, you know. So maybe I'm coming forward and telling that I really want to take charge given this point onwards. Today is 21st of July 2025, and there is this app called Habit, and in here I in here I have listed like the meds. I follow it very religiously, and if you can tell, I'm pretty an organized freak, very perfectionist type of a girl. So I do all of this to channelize very intentionally where I'm spending most of my time with. And you know, this gives me like a pretty much summary, like a streak sort of way, that if I've lived up to compiling a month of if I've lived up to that promise or not. So I have kind of metricized, I don't even know if that's a word. I have put everything in numbers. That way I'm counting everything, so I am know for sure what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm not. I really wish to change my life. I would really wish that this is a transformation video of some sort, that I'm talking like this, but there will be a day where I will be a very successful neurosurgeon who just graduated from AIMS Delhi. I really wish to go to Delhi. And if you can't tell, It's like I am from a very small town, and given that, I have all of my eyes on Delhi because one, metropolitan city, two, a lot of happening businesses, happening ideas, happening people are situated there. And I kind of want to get myself in that environment to grow to some degree that I make a lot of money, like shit ton of money. And I believe that with everything, with all the resources that I have been handed and grown till date, it is my responsibility to get rich and help the people that never got a chance to, never got such opportunities that I have as of right now. So, given that, I think I am going to every day put up a video, whatever it happens, that hey, this is the beginning of a new journey, and there will be a day where I will sit and be telling you that I got into AIMS Delhi. I made it. And whenever I'm putting that forth, I will have everything on my YouTube channel listed to look back on. The streaks of all 365 days into 3 years, starting now. Now I'm in second year, about to give my final university exams, which is in 20 days almost. I really got this. I will not let my head eat myself up. I will just act and do the things that I need to get done. And like so, I will update you that today's streak has been done. And I will do this daily, no matter what, no matter how shitty the quality of the video is. This is one promise, and I will live up to it.